Hi, I am going to see if I can invest in 100 crowdfunding projects, each one at £1,000. I'm going to go through one right now. No editing, nothing. See whether or not I like it. Here's my little investor checklist in the bottom left. Is there a novel invention? Does it work? Change behavior? Can the founders build the first product themselves? Can I 20x my money? And will I chat about it at dinner? If it meets those checklists, I will put £1,000 into the project here and now. And the reason I'm doing this is because I've raised a lot of money, I've invested a lot of money, and there's a common thread that so many good projects get ignored because they're not very good at building confidence from a first impression. So hopefully this will reveal some places where confidence is won and lost. Righty, again, we're going to Crowdcube. This is the fourth video. Let's browse. I never go by popularity because that's hype. So let's go newest. I'm only going to do UK investments at the moment. Okay. This one, I don't know anything about it. Let's do it. Viritech. Okay, so they're overfunding, so could be hype, could be good. It's a lot of money, so they're targeting £650,000. It's an EIS investment. Let's listen to I'll read the elevator pitch. I never watch videos. Videos are there to create hype. I look at pitch decks, Q&A, and try and find where an invention is. So Viritech is helping revolutionize transportation by offering advanced hydrogen powertrain solutions aiming to make zero-emission heavy transport viable without compromising vehicle performance. Now, there's a lot of hydrogen-based powertrain companies out there, ranging from the fuel cells to the plug powers to the even the truck manufacturers like what's it called, Nikola, which many of them have terrible press. And I'm not saying this is exactly like that, but it's a crowded space. And the other thing about hardcore, this is deep tech. So basically you're turning science into technology. The thing about deep tech is there's going to be tons of dilution. It's also going to need loads and loads and loads of money to once it's out of its R&D and prototyping phase into its manufacturing phase, which means to get loads of money, they need to raise a lot of debt. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with debt. So that adds a few things. The reason I say that is as an investor, I'm starting to think like an investor. It will add a few more things into the checklist. Like I need to know whether or not there's like a negative track record with any of the directors, because if there is, they'll never be able to raise debt. I also need to understand what previous funding they've had and the dilution kind of journey that they're on. But it's £1,000. Don't think too hard. Okay, so 6.7 million raised from investors, over 3,000 crowds investors, 2.9 million in grants. Okay, so that means they've had about £10 million in capital. Very impressive. Collaboration with Ford and Ocado to develop a hydrogen transit van. But there are hydrogen vans, but maybe not. Yeah, there's no Ford hydrogen vans, not that I know of. 12 patents, excellent. 22 trademarks, don't care about trademarks. Founded by a successful serial entrepreneur, okay. And motorsports engineer. This is all sounding really good. If they've raised 10 million. Oh, it's a convertible. Okay, it's a convertible note. What this basically means, I'm sure most people know what a convertible is, but if you don't, it's not stupid to ask. A convertible note basically means me as an investor will give a founder some money and I will not get equity until this voucher, which they've given me, becomes equity. And the reason you do that is because you don't want to mess around with the cap table of a company when there's lots going on. It could be really expensive to mess around with the cap table, or you don't want to put a price or a valuation on the round. Now, you can't do EIS relief with a convertible note. So this means that it's not a convertible, or these two things can't be true. It can't be a convertible and EIS. That's HMRC in the UK don't allow that. But it can be what's called an advanced subscription and EIS, which basically means that the note, the voucher they give me, must turn into equity within 6 months. So EIS, yes, we all know what EIS is. That basically means as an investor, you get 30% of whatever you invest off of your next tax bill. If you don't have a big tax bill, tough shit. Okay, so I'm going to go straight to what is going to be the likely maturing valuation. Discussions, previous raises. I'm glad somebody asked a sensible fucking question. Well, hopefully. Hello, I've invested twice now and love the idea of future projects. My first investment, 23, it's convertible and converted at a discounted rate. As presumably you didn't get the external capital that you're looking for. Is that right? If the company doesn't get 7.5 million that you're looking to raise this time around, will that mean the company will struggle to continue its current form? An existing investor has raised an alarm bell. Very interesting. Still doesn't mean, oh, bollocks. Still doesn't mean I'm not interested, but here we go. The previous investment will have been an advanced subscription, as I said, which under EIS rules has mandatory conversion after 6 months. Like I said, we've not yet attracted interest from a major investor to lead a priced round. Yeah, I understand. 22 is all a bit fucked up. Our plan is to secure at least 1.5 million in new funding this year, which will see us to the end of half 1/25. So it'll give you 12 months. Seeking strategic investment of 5 million, see us through to 27. I mean, when you raise money, I don't like the language of seeing us through. Now, this isn't me nitpicking. This is actually a very important point, which many investors and many founders don't actually understand. Like, when you invest, or in my opinion, when a good investor invests, you're not investing to give somebody time. You're investing to achieve a milestone. So when people talk in the language of time, this will get me through to the end of 25, or this will get me through to the end of 27, it means that you're buying time to pay for people's salaries and somebody's like uncertainty. What I want to invest in, what good investors invest in, is they say, hey, look, there's this thing we're trying to achieve, and if we achieve that, we can then go out and get even more money at a much higher valuation. So you, today, are getting a better price because I haven't achieved that milestone yet. All of this money goes towards achieving that milestone. And that's what I want to know. I don't care how much time that takes. It could take 3 months, it could take 3 years, preferably 3 months. But, you know, if you spend £3 million in 3 months versus £3 million in 3 years and achieve the same milestone, I'm happy if you spend £3 million in 3 months, you know? In which we have raised 7 million of equity capital. Okay, this is very heavily diluted. So I don't know the terms of the note. Without the terms of the note, I just can't invest. It's that simple. So let's go straight there. Restricted documents. Okay. The lead investment secured by the company is under an existing loan note instrument from an existing investor for 500K. That means, well, they've already said in the Q&A they don't have a lead. So what this basically means is that there's one investor that's willing to put their hand up and say, I did some diligence at some point. In order to offer comparative terms to Crowdcube investors while enabling EIS relief, the company is offering a greater discount to Crowdcube investors instead of interest, which is calculated to place investors in the same position on conversion. Yep, you can't offer interest on an advanced subscription agreement because it's not technically a loan. I need to know what the terms is. And the reason that, by the way, is because I need to know if I can 20x my money. Because, you know, good investors, they know every investment they make must repay all of their previous investments within a certain fund. So my fund right now is about £30,000. So I'm investing out of a £30,000 personal fund for this year in crowdfunding, and then other money for more investments. But that means I need to make back roughly 30K. Now I'm saying 20x because, you know, you get tax relief and all that kind of stuff. Where is the convertible note? What is the product range? What assumptions have been made? We're overfunding. View all updates. Anything about the note? Come on. It's so simple. Like, good for you, you're overfunding. It's a lovely project. If you don't know what you're investing in, how are you supposed to commit? Is it in their deck? Let's have a look. Fuck me, that's a horrible. No one's going to read a disclaimer. All right, third-party hydrogen fuel cell. Okay, that's the problem. Viritech, hardware and software, which is agnostic of fuel cell. So they're the middleware between a fuel cell and a engine. So they're the powertrain, not the power source. Makes sense? It's like a Formula One car. Yeah, I'm a big believer in hydrogen. Blah, blah, blah. I know this market well enough to know that this is fine. Interesting test vehicles. Team. Okay, investment banker turned serial entrepreneur, founder next to 2 fintech companies. This is not a fintech company. That does not add credibility from my point of view. Who is the tech nerd? Co-founder, ex-Formula One performance road car engineer. All right, that's fucking brilliant. Yeah, fine. Fundraise, product development, demonstrators, revenue growth. I'm not really interested in any revenue. It doesn't bother me because you're a deep tech company. I don't care about revenue. Oh, you've done it again. Crowdcube. Surely give some of your damn projects some advice. You can't just do a blank convertible note without saying what the terms are. It's like you'll be on par with existing investors, but I don't know what my dilution is going to be in the future. I'll give you an example. I don't even know how. I don't know what percentage this round will convert into. So it's impossible to know if I'm ever going to make my money back. So why on earth is anyone writing a check for this without that knowledge? Am I being a Dumbo, or is it not here? I can't see it. I just can't see it. And why is no one asked? What are the terms of the note? No. Fuck's sake. Sorry. Makes me so cross. It's so obvious. It's so obvious that information should be there. At least, if not in the public bit, then in the restricted documents, like draft note. Like, I've done crowdfunds before. I will always put the terms on. This is annoying because it could be really good, but I'm not going to invest if I can't answer that question. Yet again, Crowdcube, the second project out of 4, 50% of the projects I've been wanting to write a check for, I can't because I cannot work out if I'll make my money back because the information is not anywhere in the pitch. Goodbye.